Now, joining us to preview this big game is a basketball pundit, basketball expert, and of course, sports journalist Emmanuel Chibuzo joins us this afternoon. Emmanuel, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining. All right, let's go straight to business. Nigeria look really strong in the group stage, especially beating Tunisia so convincingly. Do you think that the momentum gives them the edge against Senegal today, knowing what also Senegal pose as the players they have at the threat?
Yes, it does. Momentum is high on both sides. For the records, this is the 6th time Nigeria will be playing Senegal at the AfroBasket level. The previous 5 times, Nigeria has a bragging rights 4-1 in favor of Nigeria. And let's not forget the fact that the last time Senegal won this tournament was way back in 1997 when they hosted the tournament. So for the records, Senegal has won 5 AfroBasket, which is joint second with Egypt. And the last 4 editions of this tournament, Senegal has finished 3rd. The last time they finished 3rd as well. So there are people who are always on the podium table. Now, before this tournament started, there was already a bragging right war going on social media. After Nigeria's G-Tigress, they knocked out Senegal at the women's edition of the semi-final. Divine Ike, who is a member of this team, he plays for a Senegalese team at the Basketball African League. He tweeted, "Some things never change." Senegalese players did not take it lightly. They took it upon themselves. There was a war of banter going on between them and Divine Ike, who plays his basketball in Senegal. So right now, here we are. You mentioned 2 players, Brancou, Badio, and Jean-Philippe Boissy. Boissy is the current MVP of the Basketball African League. And in this tournament, he's averaging 13.3 points per game, not forgetting 4.8 assists and 3.8 steals per game. Only Caleb Agada has averaged more steals per game more than him in this tournament. What does it mean? It means that Boissy can score from anywhere in the paint. He can drive to the paint, create his own points for himself, and also, as good as he is offensively, he's also very good defensively. That's to tell you that someone who is also that good can steal 3.8 steals per game. So it means they can hurt you offensively and defensively. The strength of this team are the 2 players you mentioned, Brancou, Badio, and that man, John Jacques, and the rest of them. Both of them are the point guard and the shooting guard. It means their duty is to protect the other guards. And what Nigeria has done in this tournament is that they've been able to ward off opposing guards. The likes of Agada, Josh Okogie on your screen, Ike Nwamu have done that. Abdulrahman, the coach, has built this team defensively around perimeter defending and protecting the paint. They also have one guy, Ibubashi. He's averaging 9.7 blocks per rebounds per game. He's also 4th when it comes to blocks. So it means that this team has some defensive, aggressive players here. But the question is, who wants it the most? Who is going to make less of the turnovers? Who is going to make more of their free throw points? But a lot is at stake. Like I said, the bragging rights, Nigeria has the bragging right 4-1 in the history of the AfroBasket. Will it continue today? That's the big question on the lips of everyone right now.
All right, big question on the lips of many. But let's go back to that game against Cameroon. Now, 3rd quarter, it looked as if it was a blowout, but all of a sudden, the Cameroonians climbed back in as much as they could not equal the tally. Do you also fear for that similar situation where the Tigers might start well, but at the middle or towards the end, the 4th quarter, they begin to falter, begin to make these mistakes or commit fouls? Should we be worried that might also play out in today's game against Senegal?
Well, for Coach Abdulrahman, and anybody will remember very well, in that, as we're entering the 4th quarter, Nigeria has a 31-point lead over Cameroon. And even in the NBA, I watched the NBA for the past how many years, when you're entering the 4th quarter, normally with such a huge lead, the coach takes out his starting 5, brings in the first players, the bench players to kill up the game. And many times the other team gather momentum. So that was what Coach Abdulrahman did. 31 points to the 4th quarter, 10 minutes to play. He didn't expect that his guys are going to blow up that lead. So I think he has learned from that. Senegalese team are going to come fighting because, like I said, there's a grudge match, there's a grudge battle, bragging rights, everything is at stake here. Now they want to also get their pound of flesh on Nigeria's the Tigers, beating their ladies, Divine Ike, dragging them on social media. So I'll tell Coach Abdulrahman. So what happened that day, it happens even in the NBA and most of the basketball teams. A coach taking out his best players because you have a 31-point lead. So I think for Coach Abdulrahman, he has learned from that. They will not become complacent like they were in that game against Senegal.
All right, battle of the guards right here. We have excited guards. You look at Okoye, Nwamu for Nigeria, Badio and Boissy for Senegal. Which backcourt do you think can tip the balance in this matchup? Which of them?
I think the backcourt for the Senegalese team are putting in more points than our backcourt because what's the name? Boissy is averaging 13.3 points per game, while Badio himself is averaging about 15 points per game, who is about one of the leading scorers, the leading scorer for the Senegalese team right now. For our own backcourt, Josh Okogie is leading this charge when it comes to scoring. The question is, Caleb Agada had neither here nor there, blows hot and cold because of the position you play. Their backcourt is good, they are ferocious. But our backcourt, I swear, they can also come up top. Like you say, no two games are the same, like we say in sports. So the position you're playing determines how you start your game. And like I said, we also build our team around perimeter defending and rebounding. So as the likes of Akobundu Ehiogu has a big work on his hands because that man, Badio himself, Baji, his job is to get paint points, dominates the paint, which he has done very well for Senegal in this tournament. Badio was responsible for Senegal knocking out South Sudan in that game they played on Monday. So Nigeria has to be extra careful. Nigeria did a good job on Hill, the best player for Cameroon. That was on Sunday. So I think Nigeria is going to find a way to put a problem on Badio, Baji, and that man because Boissy. Because if you allow those guys to have their hours, Badio has his hot hands. He can shoot from anywhere from the floor. 3-pointers, the mid-range, and everything. So we have to now do proper perimeter defending and making sure our shots, whether it's the mid-range, whether it's the 3-pointers, they all come to play. And if you have your free throws, we will not be shooting 50% from the free throw line. We have to make sure we get 70, 75, or 80% to drag this game home.
All right, before I let you go, Emmanuel Chibuzo, should we go into that game? Will you advise a Nigerian or Nigerians to go into that game with their BP machines, or they should just go in without any issue and then watch the game? Because basketball sometimes can put you under immense pressure.
Yes, it's a game that's good enough to pass for the final of this tournament. So at this point, you don't underestimate any team. I think you have to be cautious. I can tell Nigerians to go to sleep that we will beat them because of the record we have before now. I can tell Nigerians to become nervous because Senegal is one of the top teams. Like I said, the last 4 editions, they finished in the podium places. They finished third in the last 4 editions. So they have the second joint record for second and third in this tournament. 5 times they've won it. So Nigerians should be very careful and pray and hope that our players get their hot hand today. Cut down on your turnovers today. Make sure you hit your perimeter shot very well. And proper guarding of Boissy, Baji, and the other man there. Because if you don't do that very well, they might come back to want you. So I think maybe the first quarter might be a bit neither here nor there. Nigeria has had a way of always starting their games very well. So I think today will not be an exception. So I think we should be optimistic and hopeful that they will make the most of this game.
All right, thank you very much, Emmanuel Chibuzo, for your time. We look forward to an exciting game between Nigeria and Senegal, and we hope for a Nigeria win. But at the end of the day, the best team gets to carry the day, or may carry the day, because sometimes the best team, is just not shooting. Thank you very much for joining.